You are in an enviable position for a woman of your age.
This video breaks down why Harper Stern walks into her new job already under pressure, why her Siren short isn't reckless but still dangerous, and how her clash with Otto Mostyn exposes the real power structure of elite finance. This isn't about one bad decision. It's about what happens when someone who believes in merit walks into a system built on influence. Harper Stern's move to Mostyn Asset Management looks, at first glance, like a win. After everything she survived: professional exile, moral compromise, reputational damage, she doesn't just land on her feet. She lands in a senior role, a title that suggests authority, a department with her name stamped on it. In the world of industry, that kind of comeback usually means one thing: redemption. But almost immediately, something feels wrong. Harper is in the building, but she isn't in control. She has the office, the role, and the optics, yet none of the momentum that once defined her. Trades stall, approvals crawl. Aggression is met with silence rather than resistance. And for someone like Harper, that's worse than outright opposition. She doesn't just thrive on action, she defines herself by it. When she can't move, she starts to suffocate. This is the pressure point that shapes everything that follows.
The short-only mandate changed without my consent.
Harper believes she has been hired for her mind, for her instincts, her speed, her ability to see structural weaknesses before the rest of the market catches up. And when she starts digging into Jennifer Bevan's speech and the implications of the online safety bill, that instinct fires immediately. She sees what others are ignoring. Regulation is coming, public sentiment is shifting. Platforms like Siren are about to find themselves trapped between lawmakers and their own business models. From a pure market perspective, Harper isn't wrong. This is exactly how profitable shorts are born. Not from panic, but from slow, inevitable pressure. The kind that doesn't explode overnight, but grinds companies down over time. Harper isn't gambling here. She's positioning early, and that word early is where the danger begins. Because being early in a short is not the same thing as being safe. Early shorts demand patience, capital stability, and, most importantly, client trust. And Harper doesn't fully have any of those yet. She assumes her title gives her runway. It doesn't. What it gives her is visibility. That's the first mistake. Harper believes she runs the shorting department. In reality, she fronts it. The distinction matters. At Mostyn Asset Management, authority doesn't flow from job descriptions. It flows from Otto Mostyn's interests. And Otto's interests are not purely financial. Unlike Harper, Otto does not treat the fund as a vehicle for performance alone. It's a political instrument, a social one, a way to maintain leverage across industries, families, and institutions, including Parliament itself. His capital doesn't just generate returns, it generates influence, and influence requires stability. Harper's Siren thesis threatens that stability, not because it's wrong, but because of who it touches. These aren't anonymous tickers. They're companies owned by friends, allies, and people Otto wants indebted to him. Shorting them isn't just a trade. It's an insult, one that ripples outward. This is the context Harper either underestimates or refuses to acknowledge. When the Lily Laura family office submits a redemption request, the illusion cracks. This isn't just a client leaving, it's a signal. The investors expected aggressive positioning and decisive execution. Instead, they see hesitation, internal friction, and unrealized conviction. From their perspective, Harper sold them a vision she hasn't been allowed to execute. For Harper, this moment is existential. Losing a major client so early isn't just bad optics. It's proof that she's losing control of the narrative, and rather than slowing down, she accelerates. This is where Harper makes the decision that seals her fate. She sends out an email announcing that the fund is gated. No withdrawals, no redemptions, indefinite timeline. In her mind, this is a protective move, a way to stop the bleeding, preserve capital, and buy time for her thesis to play out. But within elite finance culture, gating without consensus is not neutral. It's aggressive. It signals fear, instability, and unilateral authority, the exact opposite of what investors expect from a fund tied to someone like Otto Mostyn. More importantly, it violates an unwritten rule. You don't embarrass the house. By acting alone, Harper doesn't just manage risk, she exposes internal chaos. And the response is immediate. James Ashford, a returning figure from Season 3, shows up in person, demanding his money. The situation escalates beyond finance into something deeply human. Ashford collapses. He suffers a heart attack in the office. It's important to be clear here. Harper doesn't cause the heart attack, but her decisions create the conditions for it. Stress, loss of control, public confrontation, all detonated inside a space that prides itself on discretion. The show is deliberate in making this moment uncomfortable. This isn't a metaphor, it's a consequence. And now Otto Mostyn has no choice but to intervene. When Harper is finally summoned to meet Otto, the conversation is not corrective, it's revelatory. Otto doesn't guide her. He strips away her assumptions. He tells her the truth she's been operating without. She was never meant to have real power. She was hired as a face, a buffer, a controlled variable. Harper wasn't promoted upward. She was placed outward. Otto wanted her reputation, not her independence. He wanted someone sharp enough to give the department credibility, but isolated enough to absorb fallout. Her aggression was supposed to be decorative, not disruptive. And by attempting to short companies tied to Otto's personal and political ecosystem, she violated the unspoken agreement. This moment reframes everything that came before it. Harper's frustration wasn't accidental. The slow approvals weren't incompetence. They were designed. Otto didn't want her moving quickly because speed creates friction, and friction exposes alliances. What Harper sees as cowardice, Otto sees as patience. What she calls hesitation, he calls governance. And that's the real tragedy of this arc. Harper is not wrong. She is misaligned. She believes in a version of finance that rewards intelligence, conviction, and timing. Otto operates in one that rewards discretion, loyalty, and long memory. Harper trades against systems. Otto trades within them. Until she understands that distinction, she will always feel constrained, because she is. This storyline isn't about Harper losing her edge. It's about her discovering that edge alone is not enough. Talent doesn't threaten power structures. Disobedience does. And Harper's mistake wasn't ambition. It was assuming the system wanted her to win. By the end of this arc, Harper is exposed not as incompetent, but as incompatible. She walks into an oligarchy believing it's a meritocracy, and the system corrects her swiftly. The pressure she feels from day one isn't resistance, it's containment. And unless Harper fundamentally changes how she understands power, this won't be her last downfall. It will just be the first time she finally sees it coming.
There's no need to be so sesquipedalian.